Millionaire father walks in early, catches stepmother abusing daughter. His next move shocks everyone. The morning sunlight poured through the wide glass windows of the Wilson mansion, catching on the gold-trimmed frames that lined the hallways. To anyone looking from the outside, the house screamed perfection, wealth, elegance, and success. But inside those walls, a dark secret was festering. Michael Wilson, a self-made millionaire in his early 40s, had built his empire from nothing. After losing his first wife, Grace, in a tragic car accident 6 years ago, his only focus was his daughter, Lily. She was just 6 when her mother died, and Michael had done everything to fill her world with warmth and safety. But life had other plans. When he met Vanessa 2 years ago, he thought he had finally found someone who could bring joy back into their lives. Vanessa was beautiful, elegant, and charming, or at least she appeared that way. She quickly won Michael's heart and, most importantly, pretended to adore Lily. Within months, they were married, and the media called them the perfect family. But behind the glossy smiles and designer clothes, Vanessa's mask hid a cruel heart, the hidden cruelty. As soon as Michael left for business trips, which often lasted days, Vanessa's sweet smile disappeared. She became cold and sharp. At first it was subtle. She'd make Lily clean her own room, then the kitchen. She'd criticize her drawings, her clothes, even her eating habits. "Your father spoils you too much," Vanessa would hiss. "You're not special, Lily. You're just a spoiled little girl." Lily, too afraid to speak up, stayed silent. She didn't want to upset her father, who was always busy working to provide her the best life possible. But things got worse. Vanessa began locking her in her room, denying her meals, and once even broke her favorite photo frame, the one of her and her late mother. The glass had cut Lily's hand, and when Michael asked about the bandage, Vanessa smoothly lied. "Oh, she tripped while playing," she said with a fake laugh. "You know how clumsy she is." Michael had believed her. He never imagined the woman he married could be cruel to his daughter. The day everything changed. One Friday afternoon, Michael's flight from New York was cancelled due to bad weather. He decided to surprise Vanessa and Lily by coming home a day early. He didn't call ahead. He wanted to see the look on their faces. Driving through the gated community, Michael felt proud. He'd achieved everything he'd ever dreamed of: wealth, success, a family. But as he pulled into the driveway, something felt off. The front lawn, usually well kept, had toys scattered around. The curtains were drawn, even though it was midday. He quietly opened the front door and heard a muffled sound coming from upstairs, a child's soft sob. His heart clenched. That was Lily. He followed the sound up the marble staircase and froze halfway. From the hallway, he could hear Vanessa's voice, sharp and venomous. "You little brat. Can't you do anything right? You spilled juice on my dress again," she screamed. Michael's eyes widened in disbelief. Through the crack in the slightly open door, he saw Vanessa standing over Lily, who was trembling on the floor. Vanessa raised her hand and struck her across the cheek, hard. Lily whimpered but didn't scream. Michael's entire body went cold. For a moment he couldn't move. His mind couldn't process what his eyes had just witnessed. Then anger, white-hot and uncontrollable, rushed through him. The confrontation. He pushed open the door so hard that it slammed against the wall. "Vanessa!" he roared. Vanessa froze, her face draining of color. Lily's eyes widened as she saw her father. Michael, you're home early," Vanessa stammered, trying to force a smile. "What the hell is going on here?" he demanded, his voice low and dangerous. "Did I just see you hit my daughter?" Vanessa opened her mouth, but no words came out. Then, as always, she tried to manipulate her way out. "Michael, she's lying. She spilled juice on my dress, and stop lying!" His voice thundered through the room. "I saw everything, Vanessa. Everything!" Lily burst into tears and ran to her father, clutching his shirt tightly. He knelt down, wrapping her in his arms. She was shaking like a leaf. That was when he noticed faint bruises on her arms, old ones. His heart broke into pieces. He looked up at Vanessa, his jaw tight. "How long?" he asked coldly. "How long have you been doing this?" "Michael, please," she began. "Answer me!" Vanessa backed away, eyes darting nervously. She's a spoiled little brat. You always take her side. I did what any mother would. You are not her mother. He cut in, his voice shaking with rage. You're a monster. The shocking decision. Michael stood up, still holding Lily close. Pack your things, he said coldly. Vanessa blinked. What? You heard me. You're done here. I want you out of this house in an hour. Michael, please, she said, tears forming in her eyes. You can't just throw me out like this. Think about what people will say. I don't care what anyone says, he interrupted, pointing toward the door. You laid a hand on my daughter. You're finished. Vanessa's face twisted with anger. You'll regret this. You'll lose everything. Michael looked at her with pure disgust. I'd lose every penny before I ever let you hurt Lily again. She tried to protest, but Michael had already picked up his phone. Within minutes, 2 security guards, men he trusted personally, entered the house. Escort Mrs. Wilson off the property, he ordered coldly. As Vanessa screamed and protested, the guards led her out. Lily clung to her father, tears still rolling down her cheeks. When the door finally slammed shut, Michael held her tightly, whispering softly, It's over, baby. She'll never hurt you again. Healing the scars. The next few weeks were quiet. Michael cancelled all his business trips and worked from home. He spent his days with Lily, cooking breakfast together, helping her with homework, taking her to the park. Slowly, her laughter began to return. One night, as he tucked her into bed, Lily looked up at him with teary eyes and whispered, Daddy, thank you for coming home early. Michael's throat tightened. He kissed her forehead and whispered, I'm sorry I didn't see it sooner. I promise you'll always be safe now. He hired a child therapist to help Lily process the trauma and even joined the sessions himself. For the first time in years, he realized that money meant nothing if the people you love are hurting. The aftermath news of Vanessa's expulsion spread quickly among the social elite. She tried to paint herself as the victim, but Michael didn't care. He filed for divorce immediately, providing evidence of her abuse through home security footage he later discovered. Footage she didn't know existed. The court granted him full custody of Lily, and Vanessa's reputation was destroyed. But the most shocking part wasn't the divorce. It was what Michael did next. He quietly launched a charitable foundation called Lily's Light, dedicated to protecting and supporting children who suffer from domestic abuse, especially those who can't speak up for themselves. Within a year, Lily's Light became one of the most recognized child protection organizations in the country. Michael poured his wealth into making sure no child ever went through what his daughter had endured. A father's redemption one sunny afternoon. As Michael and Lily walked through a park, they saw a group of children laughing and playing. Lily smiled, a real smile this time, and ran ahead to join them. Michael watched her, his heart full. The pain, the guilt, the anger, all of it was slowly healing. He realized that walking in early that day wasn't an accident. It was fate. Sometimes the universe gives you one chance to make things right. And Michael Wilson had taken it. As Lily turned back and waved at him, he smiled. The millionaire who once thought money could buy happiness finally understood the truth. Love, protection and justice for the innocent were worth more than any fortune. And from that day forward, the Wilson mansion was no longer just a house of wealth. It became a home filled with laughter, peace, and the kind of love that no cruelty could ever destroy.